You're listening to OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio, broadcast from the State University of New York at SUNY Old Westbury in Old Westbury, New York. This is an exclusive OWWR sports broadcast coming at you live from the Clark Athletic Center here at SUNY Old Westbury. Tonight, the SUNY Old Westbury men's Panthers are taking on the Medgar Evers Cougars here at SUNY Old Westbury. Our OWWR sports department tonight includes Mohamed Ducare with play-by-play commentary, Joshua Wilson with color commentary, Jillian Schaefer, color commentary and court reporter. Our production team this evening, Giselle Batistas, Angelina Zavala, and this is OWWR Sports. Tonight, it's the Panthers, the Medgar Evers Cougars. As we get ready for the first serve, right now let's kick things over to Joshua Wilson, Mohamed Ducare, and Jillian Schaefer.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's exciting volleyball matchup here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. I'm Josh Wilson, and I'm joined with the one and only Mohamed Ducare for tonight's broadcast of Old Westbury Panthers taking on the Medgar Evers Cougars. We're coming to you live from the Clark Athletic Center. So, Mohamed, we're in for an exciting evening. What should we expect from these two teams tonight?
You know, the Cougars, this is their first game of the season, so we really don't know what to expect from them. But if we're basing it off their last year, they were actually winless last year, so they weren't the best team. They might have been actually the worst team, but yeah, they weren't a good team last year. And the Panthers, they weren't the best last year either, but they still had a couple wins on the belt. So I think for today's matchup, I'm just expecting an exciting match between two teams, just trying to see how they both look, how they're starting out.
I agree. We are also here enjoying with color commentator and sideline reporter Jillian. What can you give, or what's your take on the men's Panthers? What have you noticed right here just in this warm-up?
I mean, they seem pretty steady warming up. They definitely have good control of the ball, so that's definitely important. I don't know. I just hope that they play well, and I hope that they beat the Cougars tonight.
Yeah, and when in their past matchup, I noticed that like the Cougars, they really struggled controlling the ball, and they just caused a lot of self-errors for themselves in their last matchup. So I just think if the Panthers are able to do that, they might come out with a win today.
I agree with you. And to add on, you know, last year, me and another play-by-play commentator, Ryan Garcia, we actually commentated for some games, called some games, and I have to say, the Panthers, they like to come out with a lot of energy. They kind of drain out, actually, towards the end, but if they can stay strong early and get two quick sets, two quick wins in, you know, that's great momentum.
Yeah, so you're just really saying, like, they're a first half type of team. They're just really strong in that first half, but if a team sort of drains them out and just plays the long game, they usually end up losing.
I agree.
Yeah, and just looking at their last matchup versus CC New York, I'm just noticing Torrance Fredericks, he was their leading scorer. He had 9 points on that game, and the Panthers actually, I'm pretty sure they won. Actually, no, they lost that. They lost all 3 sets.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Fredericks. Fredericks, he was like a main contributor last year. I remember that name. My guy Shane is also on the team. He's one of the taller players. One of the advantages that Old Westbury always has is their height advantage. They're usually taller than the other teams, so that definitely is helpful.
Yeah, that definitely helps with the blocks, definitely.
And then also, this is a conference matchup. You know, you want to get this win at home. You definitely want to just, you know, assert your dominance at home. Why not? You know?
Yeah, and just start off a season strong. You know, the Panthers, they don't usually start off the season really strong. They usually fall behind and try to catch up later on. Just hopefully they can start a new trend here.
I agree. Jillian, you have some experience with volleyball.
I do.
What do you think is important to a winning team when it comes to volleyball?
I definitely think having a good kill is important because that's ultimately how you score points.
What about the serve? What about having somebody who's reliable to serve every time?
Servers are definitely important, but it's a lot about the defense. You need good defense after a good serve to make sure you bring that back over and score your point. Because it's not always about the serving.
A lot of digs, a lot of blocks. Yeah, you need that.
And you need that volley just to keep people interested in the stands. It's boring if it's just one team serving and killing every time.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I noticed about the last matchup. It was just a little boring because every time the Panthers would serve, it would just be an error because the Cougars just couldn't keep control of the ball.
I agree.
I'm hoping they came with a little more willing to play this year than last year.
I would like to add that it's funny, they have a height advantage, but they also have some shorter players, which means, it's easier to get on that ground. It's easier to go get a dig. It's easier to, dive.
Oh!
Yeah, we got some...
That was a ball coming straight towards our base.
Got some strikes coming straight at us, and, we got to play some defense, too.
Yes, we do.
Mohammed, is this your first game calling volleyball?
No, I covered a couple last year, men's volleyball games. I think it was me and Ryan Garcia, one of our other play-by-play analysts. And, I just noticed that the men's team, I remember Torrance Fredericks, he was really good with the strikes. And I remember Shane getting a couple blocks as well, but they didn't win a lot of games last year.
Right. You think it's more of like a conference thing, like the conference is very competitive?
Yeah, I think there's it was sort of like a skill gap, I would say. I would just say that we weren't the most skillful. They were a decent team. The Panthers, they have the fundamentals set, but they don't have anybody who really expertise in certain subjects.
I also think we have a little bit of an advantage compared to the Cougars because of the size of our team.
Right.
We have double the players than the Cougars have on their team, and that helps so our players don't get as tired as quick as they will.
That's definitely something to notice because I was looking over at the bench and I was hoping, that's not the entire roster for the Cougars, but it seems like that may just be who they have to run, so they might get tired quick.
Definitely, we'll get tired quick, so that gives us a good advantage.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's probably why you talked about the stamina, just this team being a first half team because they start off real strong and then they get tired.
Right. Is anybody impressed right now with what they're seeing from the Panthers just warming up right now? You seeing anything that stands out, anything noticeable?
I don't think they're trying too hard right now, just trying to get their fundamentals set, make sure they have everything that the regular, just trying to get the regular ready. But
I agree.
I don't know. I don't see anything.
I see a lot of. It's funny. I see some guys setting up some strikes, but I don't know if they're gonna be hitting from that range. Especially end game. I think it's good to practice. In-game tactics. It's good to practice things that work in the middle of the possession, in the middle of the chaos.
What I've seen so far is they definitely have strong serves, but I don't think they're getting enough height on their serves, so a lot of them are going into the net. But if they're able to get those serves over the net, it looks like there'll be a lot of kills.
Great to notice.
Yeah, and those kills will definitely hurt the Cougars, as you were saying before. They just not really the best at controlling.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Seems like they're grouping up. Seems like they're getting ready to go back to the locker room.
Yeah, and just this team, the Cougars, this is their first game of the season, so they could probably start off a new trend for themselves, start off on a win.
Absolutely. Or the Panthers could take it home.
Yeah.
Panthers could definitely take it home, especially because, they're not exactly warmed up. They might have some chemistry issues. They might not be familiar playing with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is only the Panthers' third game of the season, so, the chemistry might not be the best, so hopefully the Cougars can take advantage of that, but it's also their first game of the season as well.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking some of the stats from the Cougars last season. They don't really win that many sets at all.
Not at all.
So
did they win any sets?
That's a great question. We're trying to figure that out. And if you're the Panthers, you want to look at this team and gain some confidence. You want to make sure that you can not only play your game of volleyball, but just make sure that you prevent them from getting any run, getting any momentum, and just stay strong throughout the game.
Definitely looking at their last year's stats, have given the Panthers some confidence, but hopefully it doesn't make them too cocky going into the game, because that's never a good thing.
That is something I noticed last year too. The Panthers, they would go on a lot of leads. They would win the first set, win the first 2 sets, and then still lose the game overall. Like, you know, you can't just think it's over because you're up 2-1.
Yep.
It's not over. The game's not over until it's 3. So.
Yeah, exactly. Just teams playing down to your opponent's lower level. Just it never ends well when you let them stick around for too long. So just try to end that game as quickly as you can.
I agree. And both teams, they're grouped up right now with their coaches, but it seems like
a lot of
the
dancing
Panthers,
coming from the Cougars.
Yeah, about to say the Panthers seem very locked in, very, you know, the coaches talking it over with them. They're in the huddle. It seems like the Cougars, they're just like chilling. They're like, hey, we just here on the road. You know, we just here.
Yeah, they seem to have more fun with it, the Cougars, and that might be an advantage for them.
Yeah, but it might be a disadvantage. You might
that is very true.
Might be distracted from the task at hand.
I guess we'll see with this upcoming game. We have about 2.5 minutes till the game starts, so it's good to observe some of this pre-game rituals that both teams have.
Right.
Yeah, and even if the Cougars aren't the best team, if you're the Panthers, I don't think you'd be acceptable with just winning. I think you'd want to win by a lot and just even just practice all those things you want to do against even higher teams.
I agree.
Absolutely. A game like this will definitely prepare you for a game against a better team. Just to see the teamwork, the communication skills upon the Panthers, and how they could use that on a team that doesn't have the best statistics going into this.
Yep, just get all the moves you want to get out against a lesser opponent and see where that takes you. Absolutely.
So about 1:40 left. And, you know, I'm looking at the crowd right now. It's kind of quiet. Usually it starts like this, and then students come in throughout the game, especially throughout like the first half, first set. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably start to see more of an attendance come in.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers, they usually get around, I think it says around 70 people for their attendance of games. So it feels like we're around that number. We're crawling up to that number.
Right.
Yeah, more people are filing in now as we talk, so that's definitely a good thing. Panther support is always good for the team members.
Yeah, and this game is starting in less than a minute, but we're just seeing as the Cougars get on the court, and the national anthem is going to be played soon, so we're probably going to take a little break and come right back to you guys, but the Panthers getting their chair in. And
that's right, getting hyped up. A few seconds left, but you've heard it here, folks. The energy is getting higher for the players, and we'll be right back for the first serve, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned with us here with all the action at OWWR or Westbury Web Radio. And we are underway here for the first set. We're waiting to see who will start with the first serve.
Yeah, and I mean, Jill, you might know a lot about this, but how do they determine who gets the first serve?
They do a coin toss. Normally they take the 2 captains from each team and they flip a coin, and then whoever wins gets to decide if they want to serve first or receive first.
I don't know. Did they do that already, or are they about to? Let's see.
It seems like the Cougars might start with the ball.
I believe they did it already. I saw them take 2 Panther players and 2 Cougars. I could be mistaken.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, so
yeah, it looks like the Cougars are going to start with the first serve. Just based off the way that they're all set up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I was right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Cougars up first with their first serve, number 1 serving.
Yeah, and the Cougars getting ready.
Seems to be Sabir Ahmad.
Yes.
Good serve, right over the net. Panthers are able to bump set, spike it right over back.
That was Shane with the spike, and gets a point for the Panthers.
Yep.
Yep, and that's one of the errors we were talking about, just self-inflicted wounds.
That's right. So the Panthers now get to serve it up.
Yep, number 2, Santos.
That's right. He was also on the team last year and fails for that serve, but start off the home game. You want to start off stronger. You want to get it over the net, not only over the net, but you want to make it hard to attack.
Yeah, and this is their first game of the season at home, so you think they want to give their crowd something to cheer on.
Absolutely. The Cougars do seem to have some good serves so far. The Panthers have a lot of good stamina in their serves. Hopefully they could just get them all over the net.
Mm-hmm. And the Cougars actually tried to serve it. It went out of bounds, so Panthers get 2 points on the board.
And the Panthers had a good serve and a good block that the Cougars were not able to pass back.
Yeah.
So a point for the Panthers.
Yeah, number 9, Crystal Nicholas. He tried to strike it, but there wasn't a lot of power behind that one.
And once again, that height advantage is coming in healthy. And the Panthers seem to have a strategy here. They have about 3 guys just lined up in the middle.
Yep.
Ready for strikes, ready to attack. Ooh, a good dig right there for the Cougars. And they send it right back over. Panthers, they receive it and getting ready to strike right back.
The Panthers seem to be doing more of the bump set spike, and whereas the Cougars seem like they're kind of just hitting it to get it over the net.
Yeah, they look like they're just trying to survive, and Panthers look like they're trying to kill.
Right.
They're doing a good job so far. They're getting all the digs, but
this is how
I
you
guess
get
we'll
real
really
tired.
see. Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the limited team members that they have.
And like you guys said, eventually the strikes kept coming and the Cougars couldn't handle it. So 4 points now on the board for the Panthers to the single point by the Cougars as number 9 begins to serve. That is Damien Villamil. He is also a returning player for the Panthers and gets it right over the net. The Cougars, they're trying to get it over the net, and they could not.
With another triple bump.
That's right.
Right into the net.
And there was 2 players passing it between each other. Like, they weren't even trying to really set something up right there.
Yeah, just communication really bad on that play.
And Villamil once again sends it over. And another strike comes
Very
through.
strong serve from number 2, Santos.
Yeah, Santos. The Panthers, they look real comfortable in this matchup as the Cougars call a quick timeout.
And like I mentioned, Santos is one of those shorter players that I mentioned earlier. And
he has a lot of power.
He could definitely get down low, get a dig, but he could definitely block it too, as he just showed.
And he has good heights on his jumps. That's definitely important when you're when you don't have the advantage of height on your side.
Right.
Exactly, that vertical, just getting real high up, just trying to get as high as you can, get that ball and just get it back on the other side.
But a lot of power in his serves, and that's definitely important.
Yeah, and the Cougars are definitely struggling with that as well, as they find themselves down 1-6, and they haven't scored a single point after their initial point.
That first serve.
Yeah, after that first serve. And the Panthers just getting back out there, 20 more seconds on this timeout, and the Panthers, they don't look like they're really doing anything complicated to get these points. They're just...
Yeah, this kind of just looks like a warm-up to them.
Yep.
I think if the Cougars had some more structure to the way they were playing, I think they could definitely be a better team, but it just kind of seems like they're all over the place for right now. So I guess we'll see where that leads.
Yeah, and it just feels like they're lacking the fundamentals that you need to be a successful team.
And Villamil gets a serve over, and it flew right past.
That's that strong serve I was talking about. Just right over the line, out of bounds.
Yeah, and that one was maybe too strong as the Cougars.
Definitely too strong.
Get a second point.
You know, it's funny you guys mentioned the structure of the team. I think that, I completely agree. I think when you look at their last year record, as a serve is failed by the Cougars, you look at their last year record, you don't win a game. Eventually, you can't really just blame the players. You got to blame the coaches too. Like, how are you coaching? How are you prepping them for these games? As now that it's Hendricks with the serve and it goes right over the Cougars, and the Cougars actually went for they went for it, but it went over them and they get a point. They get bailed out.
I mean, he missed it, but
he did miss.
He's glad he did because
thank God they didn't touch that ball, or else it would have been another Panthers point.
Right. And a nice heavy strike comes through for Shane, and then it's 8-3 for the Panthers, looking to get another serve up. And Shane, the same person who scored it, is now going to serve. What I like about the Panthers is the variety. Like, they're letting different people rotate and serve and strike the ball, and it's very effective.
Shane definitely seems to be one of their stronger players, number 20.
Right. As the Cougars, they tried to save it. It was out of bounds anyways, and nobody could save it.
He has a very strong serve, and he gets a lot of height with his jumps.
That's right.
So that's very important.
Shane getting ready to serve one more. And one
another
more
point for the Panthers.
That is 10-3 for the Panthers. It seems to be an easy set so far. You want this to continue if you're a fan of the Panthers or if you're just a Panther watching.
Yeah, and it just feels like number 9, Chris Nicholas for the Cougars is really struggling in this matchup, and it feels like you're sort of aiming for him just because they know he's not going to take advantage of that.
And that's smart. That's smart. You got to understand your opponents. You got to understand your opponent's strengths and their weaknesses and attack that. Use it to your advantage.
The Panthers are doing a great job of that right now, especially serving just to him.
Shane once again tried to get a serve, but that time it was no good. Hits the net, and so the Cougars will get their 4th point of the game.
And a substitution. Shane is out, and number 4 is put in.
If you guys noticed, all of the Cougars' points have come off of serves that were failed by the Panthers.
Yep.
The Panthers are creating their own points through strikes and through good serves. And the Cougars fail another serve.
Yeah, it just it feels like they're not.
Feels like they're not prepped. It seems like they're not prepared.
Not at all.
It's a little confusing, but yeah, you almost want them to complete the serve as they they fail another one.
Yeah, so number 2, Matthew Fleming, his serves are not getting that height that Jill was talking about.
Right.
The height, and they're definitely going a little too far right over the net, so it would be out of bounds even if it was over, which isn't good. You definitely want to center your serves.
Number 11 for the Panthers got subbed out for number 12. That would be Samuel Moreno, and he served it, and right now they're
having a good volley.
Right. And three hits for the Cougars went up for them, and they tried to get one strike down, and it didn't go over the net.
Right into it, actually.
Right.
Yeah, and it just feels like the Cougars don't really have that one person who could just get those strikes and get them points.
Yeah, It just kind of seems like they're all relying on each other, and they don't really seem to be that strong together.
Villamil, another one of those kind of, he's a versatile player. You could run him in different points of the court. He was right there and got that block. That was the 14th point for the Panthers.
Another serve straight to 9, but he was able to bump it.
And Villamil again, another score. You're kind of seeing a pattern here for the Panthers. It is 1:15 left. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the clock, not looking at the score.
I think if the Cougars would just communicate and call the ball when they are going to get it, they kind of just seem to look at the ball, 2 players, and then neither of them get it. I think if they had more communication, they would definitely give this a better game than it is now.
Definitely, and one of the main servers for the Panthers right now, Samuel Moreno, he's serving it up every time, and it looks like it's working for the Panthers.
Really strong kill from the Panthers. However, that was straight out of bounds, but he got good height, and
it was actually
very
close.
Strong kill.
Yeah, that was close. It could have went either way to me.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they are winning 16-5, but it just feels like they're not really taking advantage. They're making a lot of errors in this match that they might not survive against with a stronger opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Cougars, they tried to set up a kill, and it didn't really fall through.
Just seems like they're getting very frustrated, the Cougars. And I hope the Panthers use this to their advantage.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated at their own turnovers. That's interesting.
Yeah, they just got to be a little more control with the ball. Just have some rolls.
A little more aggressive as well.
I think it just all comes down to the communication. If they would just call who has the ball, this wouldn't be as big of a problem.
Yeah, like you saw right there, Ahmed, number 1 for the Cougars, he's blocking, and he's the shortest guy on the court. That's not where you want him to be.
Yeah, you want him to be receiving all the serves.
If you notice, the Cougars also, they're kind of trying to hit the ball, but they're not moving. They're trying to hit the ball, but they're not actually moving their feet. They're not actually trying to get in position to hit it. They're just trying to lean over and hit it, and that's not really gonna it's not gonna really cut it.
And it feels like every player on the Cougars team is just kind of playing for themselves and they're not playing for the team. So I guess we'll see where that ends up, but we're already at 19-5.
Yeah, just 6 more points until this set is over, and it's been
quick.
all Panthers.
It has been all Panthers. Very quick set so far. But I mean, hopefully this helps the Panthers' records and we come out on top after this, and it gives them a little more confidence to go into better teams with more communication and more stamina than they came into this game.
I agree, and like I added before, Medgar Evers, all of their points have come off of
Panthers errors.
Yeah, a Panthers error, like a serve error, because you can see right here for the kills, the Medgar Evers Cougars, they don't have any kills right now for this whole set. No kills. And Shane right now, Shane has 2 kills. Fredericks also has 2 kills. Villamil has a kill and a block. Maximo has a kill. So you're seeing different people for the Panthers get involved, but it seems like everybody is just aware of where they are and what they need to do.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they have 4 serving errors already, so that's 4 out of the 5 Cougar points.
And the Panthers, they begin to serve and get another point. That is their 20th point of the set.
Yeah, and that Cougar player blocked it with his face right there.
That's right. And Jill, if you were on the Cougars, how would you help them?
I would definitely, 18 seems to be one of their biggest players on the Cougars team. I would definitely have him more in the back receiving these serves, because he seems to be a stronger player rather than number 2, who seems to get more height in his jumps. So I think I would just switch their positions, have 18 more towards the back, receiving these serves, 2 closer to the front. I think I would just have a better rotation set up.
Right.
Highlight what every player's strong points are and use that to their advantage. They just kind of seem to be all over the place right now. And just as a watcher, it's just hard to watch. There's not anything consistent going on in this game besides them not receiving.
No, you're correct. And I mean, you were proven right while you were talking. While you were talking, the Panthers scored 2 points on the Cougars. It was 20-5 before, now it's 22-5. And that serve went out of bounds.
So another point for the Cougars just on Panther errors, which definitely isn't something you want to see as a team.
Right, you want to create your own offense. You want to attack on your own.
Definitely.
And the Cougars, they get it over.
I think if they could just score a couple points on their own based off a kill or based off even a good bump over, I think that would give them a little more confidence than they have now and just make them play a little better. But I don't really know if I see that happening in this game. Number 8 did just have a very good set off a kill. So.
And another kill for Fredericks, as 23 points is now on the board for the Panthers.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Number 2 doesn't seem to be
like
a strong receiver.
Right.
And it seems like every spike is just going right to him and number 9, who seem to be better, playing more in the front on the offensive
It also seems like, I agree with you. I want to add that it seems like number 9, he'll rotate over to try and hit it from certain positions, but they don't really recover well for him. As you can see, he rotated over, tried to get a spike off, and
it just
didn't
went.
really go.
It just went right next to him on the other side.
Right, he missed his spike, but let's see if the Panthers could hit theirs, as their serve,
number 2,
Santos, is going up, and it
one
goes,
of the Panthers' stronger players.
Right, and that is the 25th point for the Panthers. Set 1 has completed.
The score came out to 25-6 Panthers.
Right, and that will conclude the first set with the Panthers leading 1-0. So this has been a fantastic start for the Panthers, and we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, and the second set will be up next, right here with OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. We are here into the second set. It looks like the Panthers will be taking over the first set. We'll be beginning or waiting for the ball to get thrown in. The refs are talking, the coaches are talking, so it's a little confusion right now, but the game will be underway.
Yeah, and it just looks like the Panthers are getting their rotations right now. They got a lot of new faces.
Seems like actually the Cougars, the Panthers will be starting. It will be number 3, Lucas Rogers, getting ready to serve. right over the net and out of bounds for the
It's a pretty
Cougars.
solid serve from him.
And it is 1-0 for the Panthers in this second set.
The Panthers going into this game seem to have a lot more confidence than the last game. Maybe that win gave them some confidence, but
Right. And the second serve.
maybe I jinxed that with the serve right into the net.
The second serve by Lucas was no good, and so another point goes to the Cougars. But it's all been off serves, failed serves from the Panthers.
Yeah, and if the Panthers want to be one of those top teams in the conference, they're going to have to get these serves right.
Right. It's good that you noticed that, because even though this game has been successful for the Panthers, they still are making those small mistakes that you don't really want to see. As it seems like the Cougars got their first point that wasn't off of a serve. It was off of a block.
Especially when the Panthers aren't playing a team necessarily on their level, so they should definitely tone in on those errors that they're making now so they don't continue to make them throughout the rest of the season with teams that might be a little bit better than the Cougars.
That's right, and the Panthers, they just scored their second point of the set. That was Julius Morales, who will now be serving. Sends it right over to number 7, and it's almost out of bounds right there for the Cougars, but it just gets over. And the Panthers, they recover it. They're getting ready for a spike, and it is good by number 8. That is Jason Gills.
Yeah, and that was a strong strike by him, and that hit the Cougar player in the face.
That was a great attack. Number 17 will be serving up once more.
Hopefully another strong serve. Another strong serve. Seems to be received right over the net by the Cougars and then out. So another point for the Panthers.
And that was great attention by the Panthers. They knew, okay, it looks like it's going to fall over the line. Not going to go for it. Going to let it fall.
Yeah, not too antsy. Just to try to hit the ball over. They just know when to let it go and get out of bounds.
Right, as another serve goes successful for the Panthers. It is now 5-2. Starting off strong for the second set.
I'm just still not understanding why they have the smaller Cougars in the back towards more of the defensive area rather than in the front, but I guess we'll see where that leads them.
Like I said in the first set, you got to question the players, but also question the coaching as well. Like
Absolutely.
how are you prepping the players? And the Cougars went up for a spike and it was no good.
Again, just right to the other side of him. It just seems like they're not setting up their plays correctly or as strategically as they should be. Especially if they want to have a better record than last year. It just doesn't seem like they're starting off on a good note.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a way different mentality coming into this next season, and they honestly just look the same.
Absolutely.
And the Panthers get a block, and that will be their 7th point of the set.
Still lack of communication on the Cougar side. I think they would just stop running into each other if they would just communicate who has the ball and who's trying to get it over the net.
I agree, and if they understood, okay, I know my teammate's going to be in this area, let me cover the other area that's open. Not running into the same area as your teammates as.
And they just keep kind of like bumping into each other when they're both running for the same ball.
Right. And the Panthers right there, Panthers Villamil, he just got a crazy strike. The Cougars, it actually hit a Cougar player. He wasn't ready for it.
It's twice so far in this set.
Yeah, and I mean, just watching the girls from last semester, I noticed they were really loud. And Jill, you play volleyball too. I know.
I did.
Volleyball players are supposed to be loud, communicate with your teammates. And
Absolutely.
The Cougars are just really quiet.
Very quiet. I think honestly both teams are very quiet, especially after what we've seen with the girls. The girls seem to be more
loud.
They just had a lot more teamwork and better communication skills. But I mean, that might be because we watched a lot of their further games along their season, and this is only the Panthers' 3rd game. Maybe they'll gain some of that communication and confidence throughout the season, but
just building that chemistry, or maybe maybe they don't feel the need to talk as much when they're winning by so much, but you just want to try to build those habits even against the lesser teams.
Right. The Panthers, they scored, and now you have Jason Gills getting ready to serve up and gets a point right there for the Panthers. It is now 10-3, so that's 2 back-to-back points.
The Panthers have a lot more energy this game compared to the last set. So.
Yeah, and I think that's probably when you were talking about the Panthers' numbers. They have a lot of people, and the people playing the second set, it's almost an entirely new, different team.
Which definitely puts them at an advantage because the Cougars same exact team from last set is back on the court for this
Right.
one. They're definitely getting a little tired out there.
Well, they can't make any substitutions. That's their team. They have anybody else on the bench except the coaches. As the Panthers scored again, third time in a row.
Making it 11-3.
And that serve was no good by Jason.
That's the kind of serve I was talking about, with a lot of good stamina, but just not
Didn't
enough
get
height
over.
to get it
Yeah.
over the net. That definitely would have been a good serve and probably another point for us, but the Cougars receive another point based off the Panther error.
And the Panthers, they recover that serve by the Cougars and gets a strike off, and it looked to be out of
Great
bounds.
strike, right out of bounds though. I think they just need to control the ball more, and
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but Villamil spiked it at a Cougar player. He ducked his head and let it hit the wall. So I don't know. In my opinion, that should be a point for the Panthers. But hey, Panthers, they recover.
that was good on
another
the
serve.
Cougars though to duck down. They knew
Right.
they knew it was going out.
That is true.
They saw it way over their head.
And the Cougars, they get the ball over to the Panthers. The Panthers are trying to recover it and get a good serve off.
Yep, as they bump it right
Yeah.
over. And
Right.
again, just lack of Cougar communication. They all just kind of bumped into each other. All 6 players on the court just bumped into each other and then wasn't sure where the ball went and lost another point.
Yeah, it seems like they like to rotate into a different position, but they don't recover. They don't get back into position, so they leave spots wide open.
Yeah.
And that serve just barely gets over for the Panthers. And yeah, you do want to see better serves that
They should
definitely
be,
get higher.
I just wish they were ready for that, more like lines on the net if they saw that the serve didn't look that high or strong.
Right.
But
So number 7 for the Panthers, Luke Vidic, gets a serve and gets a point. 14-5 for the Panthers in the second set of the game.
Yeah, and it just feels like there's only been like, I would say 2 or 3 real interesting back and forths between these two teams. The Cougars aren't really giving much of a fight right now.
Right. And another
very strong kill by number 9, right into another Cougar player,
Yeah.
but not received by them. So that's a point for the Panthers. And a timeout called by the Cougars.
Yeah, and it feels like the Cougars have called all the timeouts. I don't think the Panthers have called one, and I don't think they have any need to.
Right. Jill, you said you formerly played volleyball.
I did.
Have you been in a position like this from the Cougars where you had a low roster and you were just down big, you didn't really know what to do? Or is this a very, very unique scenario in volleyball?
Definitely not a very unique scenario. Maybe I've played volleyball for a very long time. I started when I was in elementary school.
Wow.
My elementary school team was significantly smaller than my middle school and high school team.
Right.
So I would say we definitely ran into some of these issues then, but then at the same time we were all elementary students and
Right.
we were just trying to learn the grasp of the game.
Seems like
I feel like you should kind of understand by this point in your sports career.
I was going to add that it seems like the Cougars some of them are still trying to learn the ins and outs of this game.
Which is fine. Just because you're on the team now doesn't mean you've always played, but definitely
Right.
putting in that effort, it goes a long way. And if the Cougars could just tone in on what they're good on, they would play much better than they are now.
Yeah, no, just you have all this volleyball experience. Just when does it start to get like real serious and your throat starts to get dry and your heart starts to get beating real fast? Is it like somewhere in the first set, second set, maybe third set?
I would say definitely, because volleyball is best out of 5. So I would say if you're up now in the 5th set and you're down, you've won 2 games and the other team has won 2 games, definitely in that last set, everyone's just on edge and both teams just really want to win. But we don't have that luxury of seeing that, I don't think, today.
Yeah, I don't think
Based
so.
off the score we're at right now. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of times where it could be like that.
Right, as the Panthers player Villamil, he tried to get a spike over the net. It was no good, so that would be the 6th point for the Cougars in this set. And it seems like they called out of bounds on Villamil.
Yeah, and if I'm the Panthers, I'm trying to challenge myself.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to keep the Cougars maybe under 5 points in that when they get to that third set, maybe.
Seemed
Or
like-
I don't know.
Seemed like
Yeah.
it was out of bounds, but it wasn't off Villamil, so That is my incorrection.
That was the Panther point.
Right. So that would be 17 points now to the Cougars 6. As the Panthers, they recover and they're trying to get it over. They do. Cougars now, they're trying to make something happen. They just send it over. Not
Good
really
volley,
a spike.
good volley. Spike on the Panthers. Cougars received it. Back over the net to the Panthers. As they bump set and spike it.
And that was really
lost
good.
by the Cougars.
Yeah, and it just feels like the Cougars don't have that player who would just dive on the floor just to get that, just to save that point. They don't have anybody on their team who's like that.
Right, and then you see players like Luke, number 7, Luke, he's not even trying to really get spikes. He's also trying to just set up his teammates to get them to help them get spikes, even knowing that he's right in front of the net. And I think you need to see that from the Cougars, just people who, just set up their teammates, just make it easier for them.
And this being number 9's third serve, he seems to be serving very strong and towards the back of the court. I would put my stronger players, move them back to the back of the court so they could receive that serve. But they didn't do that, and it's number 9 again serving. Oh, just kidding. He is getting subbed out.
Yeah, they're rotating.
4
Yep, they're going to rotate. Number 4
is now serving.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good run for Villamil right there.
And another very strong serve, number 4.
Yep,
And it
Gil
was
Martin.
received by the Cougars. Back to the Panthers, and back to the Cougars with a very good bump set spike from the Panthers.
Yeah, and just a real good back and forth right there as the Cougars block that one, and it just bounces out of bounds.
Yeah, they definitely have some good blocks on the Cougar side so far, and I wish they would just hone in on that and keep those bigger players in the front, keep those people with good height in the front.
It's like they're not automatically going to get spiked, but they retain the ball, but they can't really make something out of it.
Yeah, they don't got the skill set, they don't have the expertise to just take advantage of those blocks.
Right, it is now 22-6 for the Panthers, and the Panthers, they're trying to make this one quick. They're trying to make this one easy.
Yeah, just try to get out of here with a win.
And I would too if I was them.
Definitely.
The Cougars, they tried to get up a serve, but it seemed like some more miscommunication.
Yeah, and score is 23-6 favoring the Panthers. They only need 2 more just to end this set and go into that third set up 2-0.
Is it just me, or is in this set the Cougars actually scored less?
Yeah, I think so.
Seems like they're giving less effort, or maybe it's matching. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the stamina Jill was talking about. Just they might be all tired. Is the same people playing the
100%.
second set.
And if you add up the total points for this game, it's actually 12-48. So that's a crazy difference in scoring and just overall dominance.
Yeah, we saw number 7 for the Panthers, Giles. He just hit that as hard as he can, and he probably felt like he could do that against an opponent like this.
And that's the final.
And that would be the 25th point. The Cougars, they tried to get a serve over, and they just went straight out of bounds. The final score for this set is 25-7. So we'll be back after this quick break for the third set. So stay locked in for the next OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio volleyball set. And here we are for the third set. This may be the final set. The score is 2-0 for the Panthers. And the Cougars right now, it's funny, the Panthers right now, they're coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. They're happy, they're shaking hands, they're enjoying themselves. But the Cougars are also looking happy and enjoying themselves. It's like they're not even taking this seriously. Like they're not getting blown out right now.
I mean, that might be a reason why they're getting blown out. They probably just not taking it as serious. When you're that team that's down, you're not really allowed to just have all those smiles on your faces and just be dancing around. You want to be a little mad.
Yeah, you want to just play with some aggression and then just really stay locked in. The only priority right now should be this set and winning the set. You win this set, you get the next one, whatever. But, I mean, it seems like they're not even really trying right now. But the Panthers, they're still deciding what their lineup is going to be, or it seems like it is decided. Refs are
One final
getting situated.
sub.
Yep.
And I
So-
believe the Cougars are starting off with this serve. Should be player number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Player
Yep.
number 1 with the first serve.
That's right.
from the Cougars.
That would be Sabir Ahmed.
And he's lefty, which is an interesting thing, especially when you're serving right side of the court. But
Shane right there, he went for the strike, and it got blocked. And so that would be a point for the Cougars as it went out on the Panthers side. It's funny, nobody really expected that. The Panthers didn't. And the Panthers, they actually recovered the Cougars serve and just spiked it right back.
great kill from number 7 on the Panthers, who got us our point back. And now number 10 is serving from the Panthers.
That's right, number 10, that would be Kyle.
Very strong serve inside the bounds. Nothing from the Cougars, though, so that's another point for the Panthers.
That's right. So, once again, Kyle setting up.
Yeah, and it just feels like the Panthers, they know they won this game, and the Cougars, they know they lost this game as well. So it just feels like two teams playing with two different mentalities.
And another point for the Cougars. They definitely seem to have a lot more communication this round. It might be, they might just honestly be antsy to get off the court and they're like excited.
Yeah, maybe.
But they seem to have a lot more communication, which, you know, the score's tied right now. So
They are.
I guess we'll see where that leads. But
Yeah, I mean, too little, too late. Or maybe a miracle could work their way.
you never know.
And number 7,
Seems to be very happy.
number
Yeah.
7, that'll be Kamali Reed. He went up for the serve, completed the serve.
And for the first time in this game, the Cougars are winning.
And that
Now
didn't
they are
last
tied
long.
because that serve hit right into the net by number 7.
Yeah, just those errors. They're catching up, and the Cougars, they found themselves in the lead for like a little second, but they lost it just as quick.
And so right now we have number 7 serving it up, and that was a great serve. The Cougars, they volleyed it right back over, and Shane with the strike, and it's good. That'll be another kill.
It's a great play by the Panthers.
Yeah.
Hopefully they keep this up and they could win this final set.
Yeah, and if you're that Cougar player right there, number 2, you got to die for that one. You got to get down on the floor. You know, volleyball players, I'm usually amazed at like how quick they are to just dive on the floor just to save that ball, and it just feels like the Cougars don't have that same intensity or like bravery just to like fall down on the floor, maybe hurt your knee.
Right. And it seems like I actually agree with you. I think the hustle is actually what like impresses me as well most. And the Cougars right now, they're actually showing that right now, but then they stopped. That was interesting.
And I think I take back what I said about the communication. It seems to all just
like,
kind of be out the window now, and
like
they're just right back bumping into each other, going for the same ball.
And number 12 will be serving it up for the Panthers, and it seems to be a good serve because the Cougars, they're barely volleying it right back over.
And this Panther seems to have a certain pattern when he serves, and if the Cougars could pick up on that, they might be able to receive these serves a little better than they are right now.
And the Cougars right now, they just got their 4th point of the set due to a turnover by the Panthers, and so they now get the serve, and the Panthers, they receive it. Shane gets to spike it.
Great spike on Shane. And a set over from the Cougars, back to the Panthers, bump, set, and a spike right into the nets. That's another point for the Cougars.
And this is what you don't want if you're the Panthers. You can't give up the points.
Absolutely what you don't want. They fought hard this whole game, and here they are with the score tied 5-5 in what could be their last set. But
yeah, they're just letting them stick around for too long. And
another kill from Shane right into the net. That definitely would have been a point for the Panthers.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to work this hard just to like let them get back into it. They win another set. Then next thing you know, it's 2 up. It's tied at 2. Like, you want to just get this over with right here now.
It's honestly just hard to see because they played pretty fine these first 2 sets, and then they kind of seem to get lost in this what could be their last set.
But what I noticed is they made some substitutions. They took out Santos. They took out Fredericks. Number 7 also got taken out. That was Luke. So I wonder,
stronger players.
Yeah, I wonder if them having this lineup out there is causing this now, and this lineup is trying to get familiar, get warmed up. You never know.
Yeah.
And that
right into the net.
Yeah, that serve by number 9. That will be Chrisno Nicholas. He went up for his serve. It hit the net. Shane will now be serving for the Panthers.
Yeah, like you were saying, maybe this is the coach just trying to get his other players some minutes. Maybe the players who don't usually play as much, try to get them situated and understand what it's like to be in game.
And the Cougars did get that over the net, but they hit it 4 times. And in volleyball, you're only allowed 3 passes before going over the net. So that's another Panther point, tying it at 7-7. Shane's still serving, number 20. Hopefully it's a good serve. Hopefully it's a kill. Hopefully we win some points here. And right as I said, great point by Panthers and a point for the Panthers. Shane serving again.
That's great play-by-play, Joe.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they were down 2, but now they're up 1.
And Shane once again with the serve. Seems like it's been working.
He definitely is one of their stronger servers on the team. He gets good height, good stamina, very powerful arm. Very important. That's definitely what you need out of a good, solid volleyball player.
And the Cougars, they recovered it, but they could not get it over the net. And that will be 9-7 for the Panthers. And once again, Shane serving for about the 3rd or 4th time in a row. And then it finally hits the net. So that will end his streak of serving.
I think that honestly might have just been he got tired.
Maybe.
He didn't really get too much rest because every time he finished serving, the ball was back to him.
You might have been on point. They just subbed him out, and he's now chilling on the bench. And the Panthers, you see 2 Panthers diving.
Panthers.
See, that's what I wanted to see from the Cougars, but it just feels like they don't want this win as much.
The Panthers, you had 2 Panthers diving for that dig, and then it gets over the net, and they benefit with the bucket, or with the score, I should say. Wrong
this
sport.
isn't basketball.
Right, wrong sport.
Some substitutions on the Panther side.
Yeah, no, it just feels like the Panthers, I don't think they've caught a timeout this whole game. They just subbing up their players in. I don't think there's any reason for their coach to just really give them a talk in this game. And
right
I
now,
think, the subs are getting situated. And
number 2 is back out there, Santos.
Who's definitely one of their stronger players, and just right into the middle, no one moved.
Right.
No one even tried to receive that ball.
I don't think anybody knew
what was going on.
Yeah, like who was going to. I think every player expected their teammate to go for that serve.
That's where that communication comes in.
And nobody went for it. So Santos once again serving, trying to get another point for the Panthers, and it worked.
Yeah, and it went right back into that same spot as the first initial serve, so that's good that the Cougars were at least able to move and get to the ball, but still no point for them.
I had lost my train of thought earlier, but I wanted to say that the Cougars, they seem to serve it up, but they don't really have control of where the ball is going when they hit the ball. They hit it up in the air, it just goes straight up. They don't actually hit it in a real direction that they're
like
aiming
trying
for.
to get it over the net.
That's what I'm noticing, as Santos once again gets his 2nd or 3rd point in a row just off the serves. And he is serving up once more.
Great serve again, right in that same spot.
Right again, and it almost went. It did go into the crowd just now.
Didn't hit anyone, thankfully. But if the Cougars could just communicate and figure out who has that middle spot where the ball keeps hitting, they might be able to get that over the net and start a good volley.
I agree.
And another timeout called by the Cougars.
How many timeouts are they allowed per set? I feel like they're
I'm
taking all
honestly
of
not
them.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably thinking maybe 2 or 3, but it just feels like they've used them all.
I want to say it's 2 per set, and I think this is their first for this set.
Yeah, just the Panthers, their coach is just letting them live because they know that this game isn't as hard as they could make it.
Absolutely. They're probably enjoying the break too. Their minute off from play.
Yeah, the coach, you don't really got to yell at anybody. Not at least this game, and just noticing the score, the Cougars have 8 points, and that's the most they've had in any other set. So I know I was talking about before challenging the Cougars to hold the Cougars to less than 5 points, and they weren't able to. But
these timeouts definitely could be a tactic the Cougars are using so their players don't get tired as quick, and so they just have a second to breathe. But I guess we'll see if that timeout did them any good. With Santos still serving, number 2. Good serve, again, right into that same spot. Cougars were able to receive that.
and a great tap, nice block, or not even a block. It was a soft strike right over the net, and another point for the Panthers.
Yeah, and just great play, just having two players jump at the same time, just so the Cougars don't know who's going to hit it. And I'm expecting a strike, and they just give it a little love tap.
Right, and everybody dove expecting it to be a hard hit, and it wasn't. And another service ace.
And we just witnessed exactly what Josh was talking about, where they don't really bump the ball in any direction. They just kind of hit it. They bumped it right into the stands, and that's definitely not benefiting their game.
Nope. And Santos once again with another serve and another service ace.
Right into that same spot. This might be the 5th or 6th serve Santos has put right into that same spot. If I was the Cougars, it's honestly enough time where you got to get a move on and just put your players right where that ball is going and hit that ball over.
I've been looking at the leaders for the service aces, and it was Luke originally, but it's definitely Santos now. Santos, it's funny, Luke had 5 and he was leading the team, but now you see Santos, he has about 6 and he's now leading the team.
He's definitely a very strong server. Good stamina, good height on his jump when he serves. Powerful arm. And that's definitely important. That's what's going to help them get points ultimately.
And
the ball fell right into that same spot. Cougars were able to receive it. And then the Panthers just hit it out of bounds.
Right, the Panthers, they actually spiked it and it hit off a Cougar player who tried to tap it. So that's off the Cougars, and that'll be the 19th point for the Panthers. What a run to go on right after the timeout by the Cougars. Santos once again on the serve, and it is good. The Cougars, they need to show some discipline. You can't just tap the ball.
If he would have just kept his arms down, number 18, instead of trying to get that serve, the ball would have went right out of bounds and it would have been a Cougar point. But the way we're looking, it might be Santos bringing us home for the game.
Yeah, as the score is 28, and I guess he'd make that 21 as the Panthers only need 4 more just to end this game right here in a quick 3-0 sweep.
This is definitely what you want as a Panther, as a Panther player. You want that type of win to boost your morale, and you want to carry that into the next game.
Absolutely.
But you also got to understand that not every opponent is going to give you these opportunities.
This honestly might be a rare case in volleyball where this team is this willing to let you score points on them.
Right, and then also have no substitutes. They're running the same 6 players the entire 3 sets.
They are definitely all tired by now and probably just over it from what it seems.
Yeah, they just want to go home.
They've finally taken my words and they have all moved back into the same spot. But, however, Santos served the ball right into the net.
Yeah, seemed like fatigue got the best of him right there.
Yep. Yeah. Too little, too late. That's what we just saw. And number 2 from the Cougars is going to serve.
Yeah, and the Cougars try to serve that one as they're down 22-9, but
went over but out.
Yeah, I don't think they're into this game anymore. I think they just want to get out of here.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seems. Everyone's just kind of tired, especially after playing all 3 sets, and the Panthers have had multiple breaks and switches and substitutes.
Yeah, and the Panthers sort of
great kill for the Panthers.
Yeah, as
however,
they only
out
need
of bounds.
Exactly. They only need 1 more point to end this game. Who you think this game is gonna end on?
You know,
I think it. What do you think, Joe?
No, Josh, you give your commentary.
I would say probably number 12 or number 2 Santos.
Well, ended on the Cougars.
The Cougars tried to serve it, and that was the 25th point.
That was going to be
for
my
the
guess.
Panthers. Or actually, no, 24th point. It seems like number 8 for the Panthers will begin to serve, Jason Gills. This can be the last serve of the game, and it will not be, as it went right out of bounds.
He got a little too cocky. He had a feeling it would be the last serve, and he kind of just blew it there. But, I mean, hopefully number 1 from the Cougars will make this their final serve, hitting it into the net. Actually, just kidding. Very strong serve from number 1.
And a great spike by number 12. I guess I called it.
Kill from the Panthers, closing out their last point, 25-11. Panthers won this volleyball game.
And that's the 3rd set in the books, 3-0 for the Panthers. Hard-fought win well, at least it was harder fought for the Panthers than for the Cougars. But we'll take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. Stay locked in for our interview with the coach, our exclusive OWWR interview with our sideline reporter Jill. Don't miss anything. Stay right here.
Welcome back to OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio, and this is your post-game presentation as me and Joshua Wilson will be talking about the game. And what a game this was today. The Panthers, they won 3-0. Josh, what did you think about today?
I think the Panthers, they came out with a lot of intensity, and then they were also just careful. I mean, their opponent was short on players. They only had their 6 that they were running for tonight, and they just ran them all night, all 3 sets. And I think that, they could have produced more, but the Panthers, they just did what they needed to do.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they had a really good game winning 3-0, but I definitely feel like they could have been better. But they did end up winning all sets, 3-0, 25-6 first set, 25-7 second set, and 25-11 third set. So I just see a trend right here. They're just letting the Cougars score more points every set as it goes on, and I don't think that strategy like that is going to work against better opponents.
I agree, and I think that a lot of the serves that they tried to give, that they tried to throw up, turned into service aces, but some of them also turned into turnovers. So you definitely want to just stay composed and stay careful with that. But we want you guys to stay tuned because we have Jill Schaefer coming up with the interview, our exclusive OWWR interview with the coach for the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers volleyball coach Pat Such, and he's on his way here soon, but we'll keep on talking about the game. You're just looking at the stats. Yeah. You can see their team. They had their leader in kills was Torrance Fredericks. He had 5, I think, in 1 set. So great game by him.
I think Villamil also, he just did a great job all around. He had a lot of kills, but then even better than the kills, he also had the service aces. So, you're making it easier for your team when you could just get the ball over the net with a lot of velocity and not too much velocity where it goes out of bounds, just enough where, the other players can't really maintain the ball.
Yeah, and also you see number 7, Luke Vatek. He also led his team in blocks with 1.0. So I just think really good effort by the Panthers. I would like to see them against a team that's more on their skill level because I just feel like the Cougars, they didn't give the best effort. And I don't think they played to the best of their ability, to be honest.
I agree. I think I'm looking at, the digs and the leaders. It seemed like you had Kevin Alcorn with 9 digs and you had Samuel Moreno with 3. But, that type of hustle, you need players like that who just know that, okay, this is going to be my role tonight, number 1. This is the role. I'm going to just go get on the floor and just look for my teammates, set up my teammates and have my teammates get good strikes, good kills.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing the Panthers did that the Cougars definitely didn't. They have players who know their roles, what they're supposed to do. They know they're supposed to block. They know they're supposed to dive down and get that ball. And for the Cougars, they just didn't have anybody on that end. They didn't have one person who had that one specific skill.
Right. I'm looking at Samuel Moreno because I remember he was actually one of the players who were setting up good strikes, but then also like serving well enough where they would maintain the possession of the ball. And just, I noticed they had a strategy. It was always, I'm going to hit it at least once or twice to one of the bigger players near the net, and they're just going to spike it in whatever direction that they were going to send it. I noticed that a lot of players, they will face the right area of the court, but then send it left. Or like you said earlier, how 2 players jumped, but they didn't actually go for the spike. It was actually another player, I think it was Villamil, who actually got the strike and got the kill. So I think that just having a good strategy and just like making everything come together, it was a great win tonight overall. I'm rambling at this point, but
and I'm just noticing a trend. The Cougars, I would say they were really bad this game, and I'm just seeing they had 0 kills on the game, not in the first set, not in the second, and not in the third. So I just think
it seemed like they didn't really have a game plan.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't have a game plan. I think they just threw 6, 7 players inside the game and just see what they would say.
I agree. I was also looking at the Medgar Evers players. They didn't have any kills. They didn't have any setups where one player went up and just striked this straight down. It didn't really happen. All their points came off of blocks and other serve errors. So yeah, but we are right now we are expecting Jill to walk over so we can get our interview with Coach for the Panthers. All right.
Thank you very much, Josh and Mohammed. I'm here with Coach Pastouche. Congratulations on the big win tonight. Coming from your last game where you guys did lose 0-3 to the College of New York, how did you prepare for this game today?
Yeah, we had a lot to work on from last game. Running our offense is one thing that we really tried to incorporate today. It's still the beginning of the season for us. This was only our third game, so we're still working with a lot of new players, a lot of new recruits. So really just trying to get everybody involved, trying to see what's working, what's not working, so we could move forward into conference play.
All right, amazing. And now the Panthers are 2-1, for the season. What mistakes from your team did you see to be fixed from their last game to now?
Yeah, a lot of serving errors, which we still had this game. So definitely something we're going to have to work on in practice. We've been working on it, but working on it a little bit more. Other than that, just getting in the flow of the offense. We want to run a little bit quicker of an offense. Right now, we're a little bit slow. So that's the other thing that we're really working on in practice.
All right. And who do you think had the biggest impact in today's win? Who would be your Panther player of the game?
Panther player of the game, we're going to go with our libero, Kevin. He was really all over the place tonight, got a lot of good passes out there, sort of set up the offense for success. So I'm going to go with our libero, Kevin.
All right. Thank you very much. Congrats on the big win, and thanks for this interview.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, good
Back
game,
to Josh
Coach.
and Mohammed.
And all right, that about wraps up our broadcast for tonight. So, Mohammed, how'd you feel about the game tonight? Be honest.
I just think this is a really good game for the Panthers to just get their feet set and just to see what their season is going to be about, what their roles are going to be, and I just think they did a really good job of that.
I agree, and I want to give a big thanks to our sideline reporter Joe Schaefer with asking great questions to our coach, our Panther coach. I want to thank Amanda Zavala for engineering and keeping everything running smoothly. Actually, no, Angelina was engineering today. We want to thank her for keeping everything running smoothly. And of course, a huge thank you to our station manager, Joseph Manfredi, for making this broadcast possible. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you guys this game tonight. From all of us here at OWWR or Westbury Web Radio, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.